When he noticed that there was traffic backed up on the on-ramp, he hit his brakes and then skidded about 90 feet before running into the back of the car in front of him. Here in Richmond County, preventative measures are being taken to keep teens behind the wheels on our roads safe. LaVon Smiley walked up to her, took her keys, drug her out of the car, and drove away. You've got deputies, you've got friends, you've got family members. They've all crowded up there, and you can't really see from where we're standing right now, but they're crowded around where his room used to be. Thousands of Fort Gordon soldiers are making their way home for the holidays. They're taking buses, they're taking planes. Some of them are even being picked up by their families. Although the threat at Midland Valley High School was just a rumor, Sergeant Feemster says that authorities will continue to take proactive steps to keep Aiken County schools safe. A young woman was carjacked, so crime is not completely handled down here. But I talked to one deputy who says they're fighting the battle actively. While Benny Dixon was digging in his yard, he came across a metal box. From the outside, the box looked like it may have contained old keepsakes. Inside, this is what he found: 7 half-pound containers of military-grade TNT. That's sure to be stamped into future memories, but here at home, that message has gotten mixed reception. But these stops are more than just photo ops for Governor Haley. We're all out here really excited outside of Milton Rubin here in Augusta, and we're getting ready to fire up this bad boy that I'm sitting in right now. For the homeless, it means finding any way to stay cool and waiting for a bed to sleep in at night. Neighbors say Worrell was a prominent figure in the community. News of his death traveled fast, and residents organized a vigil to show what he meant to those he left behind. New uniforms, community policing, and more deputies on the streets. Those are the top 3 ways Sergeant Michael McDaniel says the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is protecting the public downtown. Those plans are already in motion, but an overnight incident was a violent reminder.
What we had this morning about 2:45 in the morning was a young lady was going to her vehicle, and she was approached by a male suspect.
29-year-old LaVon Smiley walked up to her, took her keys, drug her out of the car, and drove away. But thanks to the tips from the community, they were able to arrest him quickly.
Because the community came forward and started aiding the deputies that were on the scene, the investigators that were on the scene, we were able to, within a short length of time, identify the suspect and subsequently recover the victim's vehicle.
Some residents say it's working.
I think that the Augusta Police Department is doing a good job and now taking care of things.
Others say it's not enough.
It's not even safe to just drive down here, like not even to go out. It's not safe to come down here anymore.
Still, Sergeant McDaniel says the most important part of the downtown initiative is community policing, and that yesterday's incident proves the community is catching on.
They're getting more involved in what's happening in Richmond County. They're getting involved with what's happening with the Sheriff's Department, as well as the Sheriff's Department is becoming more personal.
Price of food in the grocery store is going to go up dramatically.
That's our future if Congress allows the agricultural community to topple over what we're now calling the dairy cliff. Since the Agricultural Act of 1949, Congress has regulated what goes on with our farms nationwide. But like several other laws, it seems, it expired back in September.
It was actually an extension to the Farm Bill from September to January the 1st. Now, after January the 1st, there will be no extension, no Farm Bill. We're basically going to supply and demand.
What happens next? If Congress does not pass some sort of new legislation by January 1st, come January 2nd, things you buy weekly, even daily, could see a price spike in grocery stores.
In the supermarkets, without the Farm Bill, you're going to see milk, pork, poultry, beef, everything escalate pretty quick.
Prices on milk could double its current price of around $3.65, topping off at $8 a gallon, an idea shoppers are not excited about.
That's awful. I won't be able to afford milk. I won't be able to drink milk.
I don't like to see prices go up.
But heavy inflation isn't the only issue not meeting the dairy cliff deadline could cause. There have been a lot of talks nationally about maybe importing milk from other countries, but after 60 years in the business, Mr. Dorn says that that's just not very practical.
I don't think it would be feasible because they would have to reconstitute that milk. The milk would be powdered milk coming in from New Zealand or Australia or wherever.
What Dorn thinks is feasible is finding a way to keep the price of agricultural goods at a reasonable price without falling off the dairy cliff.
It's time to go ahead and pass a farm bill to help protect consumers.
Please, Lord, I said, you know, he's a fighter. Just send us a set of lungs.
11-year-old Sawyer Mobley got those lungs this January thanks to the help and support of folks right here at home. Last year, News Channel 6 brought you the story of young Sawyer who's suffered from cystic fibrosis since birth. His health declining, Sawyer needed a costly double lung transplant his family couldn't afford. His mom, Angel, asked for a hand and received a community.
The community fell in love with Sawyer from the very beginning, and so it was an easy sell.
Debbie Callan, one of Sawyer's former teachers, headed up organizing fundraisers with the Children's Organ Transplant Association and a group called Strength for Sawyer.
We started in August with a goal of $50,000, and I never thought we would get to $10,000, to be honest.
Just before the first goal was met, Sawyer's health worsened, landing him in the emergency room and raising the goal.
He got intubated and was unconscious and was on life support for 18 days.
But on January 16th, 11-year-old Sawyer had the double lung transplant he'd been waiting for, something his mom says wouldn't have happened without the community's support.
There's nothing like the love and community that I felt. Like, I really feel like they have embraced him as a member of their family.
And as a small group of friends and family gathered to wait for Sawyer's med flight to arrive, everyone wondered, what does Sawyer think about his experience?
St. Louis is really cold.
In Augusta, Tyrone McCoy, WJBF News Channel 6.